There's something incredibly precious about the donation of a brain. It's an act of generosity and an incredible act of hope for the future.
Autism BrainNet was established in 2014 to collect postmortem brain tissue to support research in the molecular understanding of autism.
The reason that we are so keen on acquiring postmortem brain donations is that at the base of it, autism is a behavioral disorder. All of the co-occurring features of autism originate from alterations in the way the brain is functioning.
We have received over 300 donations from families that support research in autism.
And what we know from other neurological disorders is that the fastest and most efficient way to getting to innovative treatments is by understanding what's going on in the brain.
So I decided to donate to Autism BrainNet because my husband and I wanted to help others that were in the situation that we were in as a family. We were hoping with his tissue donation that this would help research for autism and help others discover ways to help individuals with autism, maybe different therapies or maybe different, medical advances, anything that could help and honor Declan at the same time.
Autism BrainNet is a resource for researchers who are interested in better understanding the cause of autism and related neurodevelopmental disorders or conditions through the study of postmortem brain tissue. And so we facilitate the collection and distribution of that postmortem brain tissue for research purposes.
What's really terrific about Autism BrainNet is that the way they're trying to increase the size of the collection and the sample size, thanks to their collaborations with patients and families. We're particularly interested in the present study in looking at a particular kind of mutation called somatic mutations or mosaic mutations. They're mutations that typically can't be detected by studying blood samples because in some cases the mutation's only present in the brain. They occur as the brain develops. And so we really can't study them any other way than using brain tissue itself.
Until we really started, there hadn't been studies done in autism postmortem brain in more than 10 patients in any single series. And so it's really critical to be able to define what's going on in the brain. It's an essential part of modern medicine. So we asked the question, in those with autism, could we identify a molecular pathology by measuring RNA? Could we identify something that's submicroscopic, not seen under a microscope or in an MRI image, but that still would define what we call a molecular pathology of the disorder, defining the state of the brain, the cell types and the state that they're in?
We see that there's a renaissance in some respects of autism research on the postmortem brain, starting because of the resource that's been made available by Autism BrainNet.
I'm extremely grateful to them for doing all of that legwork. They collect all of the demographics, the medical history, and all of that information is critical for us when we're building our so-called statistical modeling. So what we are focusing on are understudied populous cells in the brain that are also playing a role, not only in normal development, but are at risk in autism. So those would be other cell types called oligodendrocytes, which my lab focuses on.
We are collecting this information that allows researchers to apply their understanding of the structural difference to the behavior of that person. So that's really the point of collecting this information. And standardizing it is essential, it's just an essential research tool to have standardized assessments so that researchers know they're getting consistent and reliable information about every single one of our donors.
I have to say, as a physician and as a scientist, this isn't about my research or our papers or my students. This is about meeting a huge unmet need in terms of improving the lives and the outcomes of those with autism and their families.
It was really interesting to hear all the different ways, that his sample through the next years, next decades will help. And that to me is huge, to not only know that his sample is helping individuals right now, but potentially in the future.